Hello and welcome to 90 Day Fiancé Trash Talk. I'm your host, comedian Tracy Carnazzo, joined by my co-host, Noelle Herzog.
Hi.
This is episode 31 of 90 Day Fiancé Trash Talk. We are here to talk about The Other Way, season 1, episodes 12 and 13.
No way.
Yes, way. And before the 90 days, season 3, episode 4.
Cool.
Noelle, these episodes are breezing by for me.
I know, same. They're way easier to watch than last season was.
I'm like, more.
I
want more.
I know.
Usually I'm like, oh, really? You gave me half of next week's episode to watch? You think that that's what I want to do right now? I want to see more of Colt and Larissa?
Right.
And now I'm like, more. Give me the whole next week's episode.
I've been watching that half easy. Like, easy. Right away. Like,
it's easy breezy lemon squeezy.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that was cute.
Did you ever see the meme that I posted on Instagram?
Which one?
Well, guys, you can follow me at Trixie Tuzini on Instagram and Twitter, TRIXIETUZZINI. So it's a woman and she's like crying hysterically with like fake nails and her eyes are like bugging out of her head and she's squeezing her face.
Oh.
And it said, when everyone told you it was going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy, but it's really difficult lemon difficult.
I like that. That's funny.
So we have a ton to talk about today.
Okay.
Just right off the bat, I want to tell you something.
Okay.
Darcy gives me life.
Darcy is the reason why I enjoy the show so
Darcy's
much.
my reason why.
Yeah.
Let's just put it at that.
Yeah.
She's just my reason why in life.
Yeah.
She is. She's my reason.
So somebody posted an old picture of Darcy.
Yeah.
But okay, so this blows my mind because it shows Darcy and Stacey and they have new faces.
Right. They have the same new faces.
Right. So, but now they have new faces, newer faces now. And it's like, you guys got all the same exact procedures done too?
Yeah, they do it together.
That's weird.
Right.
Because like they still look exactly identical.
Sure, because they get the exact same procedures.
That's so weird.
They're like, oh, how many cc's of gel are you going to put in your lips?
Yeah.
How much pudding are you going to put in your under eyes?
Because I feel like if Matt put a bunch of concrete in his face, like Dan wouldn't do that.
Right.
Know?
Well,
right.
Noelle has, her husband is a twin.
Yeah, sorry,
that's
guys.
what she's referring to.
Yes.
I think that they should both get something crazy done. Like maybe their nose is removed.
Okay, they could be noseless. The noseless twins.
Yeah, and then they could just
I would love for them to like bleach their hair.
Both of them.
Like
to confuse everyone.
On Catfish.
Oh, Neve is so cute.
I know,
though.
I love him.
All right, let's get into it.
All right.
Jenny and Sumi.
Whatever she wants to call him that day.
Hilarious. She cannot get a rickshaw.
Right.
And she's standing out there with her flesh-colored leggings.
That freaked me out. I thought she didn't have pants on.
I also thought she didn't have pants on. It was like a People of Walmart ad.
Yeah, but you know what? She looks cute.
She's adorable. I really like these tunics she's been wearing.
Me too. Yep.
I think that she found her style.
I think that she's really like taken to the culture, unlike some of these other women, the issues that they have.
I think that she's accepting of it.
Yeah, I think she looks great.
She wants to get a job, so she goes to an employment agency that looks like she is on Roosevelt Avenue in Queens, New York.
Yes. Yes.
And she talks to the guy at the employment agency. He does not speak English. So she talks to him in a weird accent in English.
Which I do.
A lot of people do this.
Yeah, I do that. Like if someone if they're speaking, say like I live in like a very Russian neighborhood. Yeah. So if like someone says something to me and like they're not understanding me, I'm like, no, but what I mean is, and it's like, I don't even know what I'm saying.
And then you get louder.
Yeah, but I shout at them.
Right, because you're like, okay, you probably speak English. You probably just can't hear very well.
So maybe if I talk louder in a Southern accent, you'll understand me.
Right. This is what she's doing. So she was going to go to this employment agency and she's going to try to get like an off the books job without her visa. Because you know how people just give off the books jobs to strangers.
Right. Especially
from America.
From other countries that don't speak the language.
Right. So she has like an awkward exchange. Like, should she shake his hand? Should she not? It's very weird. And he doesn't speak English, but he is saying things like this. Passport.
Visa.
And she's like, I don't understand. And he's like, passport. And she's like, I'm sorry, I don't speak English. I don't speak Indian. And he's like, visa. She's like, that must be a crazy Indian word.
Right, I don't know what that means.
That is insane. And then she's like, okay, well, thank you.
And she just gets up and leaves.
Yeah, like, come on, that wasn't real.
No, that wasn't
real. The producers
real at
were
all.
probably like, we're going to take her to this crazy place. Is that cool?
Right.
She's probably like, yeah, let me just put on my flesh-colored leggings.
I think that she goes out, like, trying to be like, oh, submit. Like, look what I'm doing. I'm being rebellious.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a really bad girl.
Yeah. So you have to come home.
Yeah. She's going stir crazy. She's sitting in the apartment by herself. So she goes out at night.
Would you be angry? I would be so angry if I was her. I would not stay there.
Oh, I wouldn't stay there. I'd be like, bye.
Yeah, I mean, he's gone for 2 weeks. I'd like 4 days.
I would have a new
leaving.
boyfriend by the time he got back.
Me too. I'd be with his brother.
I'd be like, oh, hello. Welcome to our home, Submit.
Right.
This is my new boyfriend.
Thanks for visiting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks for coming in. His parents also don't love me, but
He drives a rickshaw.
but he has a job, so we're amazing. So she goes out at night and she wants to find a cyber cafe to talk to her daughter. Now she said cyber cafe, and I was like, "What is she? 100 years old?"
That's what I mean. They haven't. I haven't seen one in like since the 90s.
A cyber cafe.
If I saw one, you know what I would think was happening there? It's like a front for like human trafficking.
Yes.
You know.
So she's like, "I'm going to find a cyber cafe," and I'm like, "Get with the times, Jenny." And then you see her walking down the street, and there's a thing that says cyber cafe,
and it's like, oh,
and I'm like, "Oh, that's the thing." Okay, cool. So that wasn't her. That was what goes on there. So she's so scared.
Here's the thing, though. You have a crew.
You're with a crew.
Right.
You're with a camera crew.
You're with a camera crew. Although, I don't know. Are they supposed to step in if something
Listen,
happens?
if the woman's getting, like, R-ed.
Well, because didn't somebody...
That's robbed or raped.
Did it... Oh, okay. Didn't something happen where, like, back in the day, like, Carini, a guy with a machete went after her or something?
But here's the thing.
What?
Did it really happen?
I know.
Then where's the footage of it?
Right.
They were like, Paul, while you were away running in the woods, Carini got robbed by a man with a machete.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, that happened.
Okay.
Maybe it was Amber from Teen Mom.
Maybe. Oh, you know what? That's her forte now.
That's a crossover. I don't think she would go on a boat for 5 days, though.
I mean...
To get a cell phone.
She might. If
they
it
do
meant
have
she
hammocks.
didn't have to be a mom for 5 days.
So he said, she said that she's not sure if he even wants to marry her.
I think that he wants to marry her, but he can't tell his family the truth. It's like really bad.
I don't know. So she goes to make this video call at the cyber cafe. Sorry, I'm backing up a little bit. And she calls her daughter. I totally forgot about her daughter.
Christina.
Yeah, I totally forgot about her. And
well, she has more than one daughter.
Yes, but she has a favorite, obviously.
Yeah.
We all...
I think Christina was the one she lived with, right? Yeah.
So he's gone for almost a week.
I would be furious.
And he sneaks out because they're not living too far away from each other. So he sneaks out during the day to hang out with her for a few hours.
It's unbelievable. And he doesn't have a job now.
Right. So he's just grounded all day.
Right. And he can't. So who's also paying the rent? He's just sneaking out to see her, but who's paying the rent?
Probably Jenny.
Not for long. She can't afford much. She had $6,000 to go away with.
I know. She's like, hey, I have a life savings. And they're like, ooh, what is it? She's like, it's $5.99.
Right. None of these people have very much savings to leave the country.
Didn't she live in Palm Springs?
Yes.
Like I don't understand this. Okay. Well, he gets a haircut on the street.
Yes, he gets bobbed.
He gets barbed on the street. And he gets really upset at her that she had left the house at night.
But what does he expect? Like, what also, like,
he's
what
like, I
if
told
need,
you to
like,
stay
an
inside.
Advil?
Yeah.
You know?
He was annoyed that she was doing things.
And she was like, if you keep leaving me alone, like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep acting like this. And that's why I was like, Jenny, grow up.
Seriously. Just be like, come home or don't, because I'm going to leave or I'm going to get a new boyfriend. She said that she feels like a mistress. So basically, she starts telling him a story about our favorite movie, Goodfellas.
Right.
She's like, listen, I feel like a gumada. I feel like I'm Janice Rossi. I feel like I live in 2R.
I was going to say, I feel like I live in 2R. I feel like...
She's like, in America. And when she said America, she meant in the movie Goodfellas.
Right. Right.
When you have a mistress, you keep her in a apartment building.
Around the block from your house.
Around the block from your house.
Yeah.
You get apartment 2R. And...
then your mom is going to come talk to the superintendent.
Right. Well, your wife.
Well, yeah, but
Depending
him,
on
it would be
his mom. His mom's probably like, "Where's Jenny? I just want to let you know that you have a whore living in your building."
Yep. 2R. Janice Rossi.
2R. So basically, she tells the whole story about what a
side chick is, basically, right?
He's like, "Well, it is not that. It is that."
But that is what it's like.
Of course, it
seriously,
is.
I feel like I didn't think about it until she said it.
Ridiculous. So now he's been gone. This is the next episode. This is episode 13 now. He's been gone for 2 weeks.
See, but at that point I wouldn't be there anymore because she is now not setting boundaries either.
Of course. Yep. So he comes back in the middle of the night and he said, listen, if we go to the temple, our troubles will go away.
Right.
So he was explaining that his parents want his company name. They want his address. Guess what?
What?
His parents know that he's lying.
Oh, yeah, of course they know. So it's like, you might as well just come clean.
They're like, oh, yeah, you got a job, but you could just take off and come stay here?
Right.
What's
so
your boss's
where is
name?
this job? Right.
Yeah. Show me your name tag.
Right. Show me your business card. What's your name at this job?
Right. He has something to tell her. So they take off their shoes and they go into the temple and they get all the diseases on their feet.
Yes.
They basically step on a hepatitis needle.
She seems to be adjusting pretty well, though.
I know. I would be like, I'm not taking my shoes off in this subway station. But
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be there. That's really all there is to it.
And he wants to do a ring ceremony.
So that's like an engagement, right?
So he basically wants to get engaged. And she's wearing a rubber band on her wrist.
So she is
slowly trying to kill herself, or she's. I say I don't like it. I don't like watching. People are like, "What is she even talking about?"
Right.
I hate when I see anything squeeze my arm or someone else's arm.
Yeah.
So it's like a circulation phobia that I have.
But I'm telling you, I never realized that was your issue because of the way you feel about tourniquets.
Yes. It's like having a tourniquet around your wrist. What are you doing, Jenny?
It's so funny because like now, when I was younger, I used to always wear rubber bands.
Yeah, and I would tell you to stop it.
And now I never do. And I feel like even when I have one on, I take it off. Not because it bothers me.
No, because you want
I'm so used to you
I yell at you.
telling me not to take it off because I'm committing slow suicide.
Yeah, because you're not getting circulation to your hand.
And so I just don't put them on my wrist anymore.
I never do that.
That's so funny.
It makes me scared, and even my bracelets have to be fairly big.
Yeah, I could see that though. I don't like tight things on my wrist. I could see that.
So now they're back home, and she's gonna cook chicken paneer. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that is what it's called. I didn't realize that's what she was cooking because the chicken was so like white. I thought it was tofu.
I don't know if that was the chicken. Maybe that was like some yogurt in the sauce or something. I thought it was like big pieces of mozzarella.
That's what I wish
I was like,
it
is
was.
that sauce with like buffalo mozzarella and ricotta in it?
Yum.
Because that looks amazing. I like her outfits though.
So do I. I really do. I have to tell you, like,
these are very flattering.
Jenny's kind of a moron, but she's cute.
She's adorable.
You know?
So there's like all different kinds of paneer. I don't know anything about Indian food. So if you guys are listening
of, like,
and you
spices,
if you know more about this, like teach us. Not that I want to eat it, but I want to know about it.
I want to know about it, especially because my husband loves Indian food. So I've been trying to learn a little more about it. But the amount of spices,
I know. So apparently, and I'm going to sound like a jerk saying this.
Yeah.
Apparently, like a curry is just like a spice blend.
Yeah.
That's why there's different kinds of curries.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so crazy.
And the reason why it's so strong is because there was no refrigeration for so long, and the meat would go rotten.
Right, so this was like preserving
the smell.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, yum! That's like gravy.
Yeah, I love gravy.
Yeah,
and you
well,
don't
that's
like
what
gravy.
That's what gravy's for.
Well, I could swim in gravy.
Well, good. You should. So there's like sag paneer.
Yes.
I don't know. So she's not very good at cooking. And he's like, listen, I don't know how she raised these daughters.
But do you think she's just not good at cooking Indian food?
No, I think she's not good at cooking. First of all, she's cooking on a hot plate with no oven.
Yeah, that's true.
That's number one.
She seems like someone, though, like what I can't handle, like with frantic energy. That's something like I don't like.
She's very hysterical.
Yes, and that is, I can't handle that.
Like when you look at her, you think like,
yes. She's someone who panics.
Yeah, she's like hysterical.
It's like too chaotic, that energy. I can't handle it.
I know. So Sumit is like, what did you used to feed your daughters? Like, I don't understand. And I got to tell you, this is what she used to feed her daughters. She used to feed them whatever makes you draw your eyebrows on with Sharpie marker.
So Dino Nuggets. Because Lexi on Young and Pregnant, same thing.
Oh, that's true.
Yep.
No, this is bad though.
Yeah, but you know, I don't think that they're tattooed, right? I think that actually.
No, I think it's like Sharpie marker.
So do I. Okay.
So she's cooking. She's making some Sunday sauce.
Right. Yum. What's it, L? Yum.
And the doorbell rings, and you look at Jenny's face, and you're like, "Oh my God, it's the police, and they're there to kill them."
Right. Oh my God, Sami's parents are there with machetes.
Right.
Yeah.
They're gonna steal her cell phone.
Yes.
And it is Christina, Jenny's daughter, and she gets super emotional. Christina's wife. Mm-hmm. Has the meanest face in the whole world.
She has resting bitch face.
She looks like she dug herself out of jail with a spoon 10 minutes before that.
She looks like my Aunt Sam.
Yeah, and then they say, "Oh my God, you're shorter than I thought." That must have really made him feel good.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's definitely like 5'6".
I know, and then they do a little groupie hug.
The way she reacted when she saw her daughter, it made me like tear up.
Yeah,
a
it was
little
cute.
Bit. Yeah, she was so happy and just so excited, but the daughter's wife looked like a convict.
Yeah,
and it's like she didn't know like whether to hug her, not.
I know.
Hug
And she's
her.
like, "All right, well, whatever. I guess I'll get in on this group hug."
Right.
Let's talk about Deavan and Jehoon.
Oh,
it's the day of her surgery, and her parents, Steve and Alicia, are there, and she's going to be 2 weeks early.
The house is so nice on the outside.
On the inside, it is layers of dirt.
It is. The cabinets are so greasy and filthy. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Listen, I got to tell you, it is more. She says that she has a high risk surgery. Mm-hmm. This is a high risk life living in that house.
I could never live in that house. Listen, I'm all about like, I get it. Like life happens, you be messy, but that's actual
that's
dirt.
Filth.
Yeah.
That is 100% filth. So she said that she's going to do a C-section, but she's going to put it on a video call so Jehoon could watch.
She has like a GoPro.
Yeah.
Oh my God, a helmet.
Her mom has a GoPro on her head.
It's the craziest thing to me because like I would be like, call me after.
I'd be like, "Oh, I hope you feel better."
Right. No connection. I'm in Korea. Bye.
Also, Jehoon is not exactly the most nurturing person, if you haven't noticed.
I feel like Deavan isn't either.
So we go back to Jehoon's house, and I forgot about his dog.
So did I.
That's his son. Remember? He has like an apricot
he has a
poodle.
firstborn already.
6 minutes after the surgery, the baby usually comes, right? So her mom is like doing commentary during the surgery.
Her mother is explaining, but the way she does it, she's like, "Oh, they're taking all of your insides out.
It's awful.
They're digging for the baby."
Yeah.
It's
oh my God.
What?
Now they have a shovel. Oh my God.
Your colon is in his hand. You know, it's like, oh my God.
And she has a big baby.
Right.
And Jehoon says that he's happy, but he's heartbroken.
I mean, I feel really bad for him, but like I
don't feel bad for him.
But I don't.
No, I don't feel bad for him at all. He could have come there.
I feel bad for him because nobody wants to see their child not being born. You know, not really being there.
He saw it being born. Whatever. If he wanted to be there, he could have been there.
I mean, Travelers Insurance. Tracy, I am the spokesperson for Travelers
Insurance
that's right
now. Your trip may or may not get canceled by this hurricane.
Yes.
So the baby's super cute, and she said that she's not used to having a baby boy.
And his name is Taeyong?
Because she has a baby monster animal right now.
Dracula.
Yeah.
Who's actually pleasant in this episode.
Yeah. So, her baby's name is Taeyong.
Taeyong.
So the baby was in the NICU because his lung wasn't developed. And he had like tubes, and it was so sad.
It was so sad. He looked so little.
Now,
and they put that little thing over his face.
Do you think that maybe he faked that lung thing because he couldn't believe his mother's makeup, and he was like, "Oh my God, I can't even breathe."
He was terrified to be around her.
He was gasping at her makeup.
Like, please don't send me with this crazy person. She clearly has mental illness.
You can see I cannot even breathe looking at her.
Look at her hot pink eyeballs.
Jehoon is on his way, and her mom is picking him up from the airport.
Her mother seems really nice.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a lot of free time since she doesn't clean the house, so there's that. And Jehoon doesn't know how to hold a baby. But again, you said Dracula was being normal in this episode.
Yeah, she was actually being really like nice and sweet, which surprised me. But I guess like a little baby brings out the nice side of people. I don't know.
It's not that he's not nice. He's just like, I don't know. There's something like maybe developmentally slow about him.
Jehoon.
Yeah.
There's something weird about him. There's something off. Listen, there's something off about her.
There's something off about almost everyone.
There's something off about them in different ways.
Yes, totally agree. So he said that he's guilty because he's a bad father because he wasn't there. Well, guess what? You should change your flight. It wasn't that serious.
I mean, traveler's insurance. What is it? An extra $30 or something?
Get over yourself, Jimmy.
Yeah.
So they were changing the diaper, and he's like, "Oh, is that the anus?"
That I was like, I don't want to hear him say anus anymore.
I know, but see, this is where translation.
I know.
It's like that's what it's called,
right? Yeah, but it's like you need to help him because he'll say things like, "Oh, you know, wipe
my baby's anus."
Right, that's what I mean. I feel like I wanted to say the P word, but I was going to get in trouble by your mom.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I didn't say it.
Okay. Well, also, he said, "Wow, he's got big balls." Jehoon, you know
after his dad.
Yeah, you know who has big balls? You have big balls. Saying that you couldn't come there because you couldn't change your flight.
You also have big balls,
and then complaining
you haven't spent $1.
Well, we find out now. Let's jump over to episode 13. The baby's 2 weeks old, and Jehoon just got there last night, and she needs him to buy a car seat for Korea because they move in 6 weeks,
right?
And they dressed the baby in a denim jacket that would fit me.
That denim jacket was huge.
Why do you have, like, I don't know.
I don't understand.
Material.
I think that, first of all, right, why are you putting a newborn in that hard material?
Weird.
That was the weird part.
Well, guess what we find out, Noelle? Go ahead. I know you want to talk about it.
What about that he did not spend. Okay, so when he found out that Deavan was pregnant,
right.
He offered to send money.
Right.
And it never happened.
It never happened.
So now let me ask you a question. Do you think that it never happened because he really didn't have any money or he just didn't really care to send
Listen, I understand that people are broke.
Yeah.
He lives with his parents.
Right.
He has a puppy.
Right.
Like, they're not like living how like Evelyn's family lives in like a cinder block shack.
That's true. And he also has...
His parents had enough money to come to America.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't give her $20.
But I think I wonder what the money exchange is, like the difference between the money
there
there
and
money here.
Give her 5 cents.
Listen, I'm not saying that he was right, but I can't believe that like he wasn't sending anything. You know what? Why don't you just send, like, have your mom knit the baby
That's
stuff
what I'm
and
saying.
send stuff like that
ridiculous.
if you can't afford to send actual money, you know?
So Dracula is back to her old stuff. She's being a wild animal.
As usual.
And they go to the park. Mm-hmm. And she's wearing like the Bride of Chucky dress.
She's wearing her bridal dress.
Basically.
And he's wearing basketball shorts. It's very strange.
They go to the park, and which is, you know, a public park.
Right.
And they release Dracula into the wild.
Uh-huh. She's back with her people.
Yeah. They're like, go have fun.
Go be free.
Yeah, go be free. Go back to where you came from in the woods. I mean, they don't even watch her. They just release her.
There's no controlling her. That's why.
Well, guess what the secret is?
What?
He quit his job.
But why, Tracy?
Oh, it wasn't enough money.
Oh, okay. So you quit your job because it's not enough money.
Yes, that's what you do. So even Deavan, who you're like, this girl doesn't have a clue.
Right.
She's like, oh, okay, because in America,
right.
When a job's not enough money, you look for another job while you're still working because you can't afford not to have a job.
Right.
Because you can't even afford to have this job.
And he's like, well, in Korea it doesn't work that
Yeah,
way.
he's like, oh, LOL. I didn't know that.
But I want to know what she did for a living.
I don't know, but her makeup is getting heavier.
What if she's a makeup artist?
Noelle, I hope not.
Like,
she's probably a makeup artist in like, you know where she probably practices? In like the Center for the Blind.
Yeah. I was watching this at like 2:00 this morning, and I was like half delirious. And I'm like, I wonder what she did for a living. I wonder if she did makeup. How do I find out what she did for a living?
Call her. Why don't you message her or comment on her pictures?
I should. I want to know about her makeup.
Because she said that she quit her job and she sold everything.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to say this one thing.
What?
When I was younger, I took sign language in school.
Of course you did.
And I was really good at it.
Uh-huh.
And my mother was impressed with my sign language skills.
Okay.
And she said, you know, you should volunteer and do something with that.
Yeah. Okay.
She's like, there's this place right by our house. It's called the Lighthouse.
Uh-huh.
And you should go there and you should volunteer your services at the Lighthouse.
Okay.
And I was like, Mom, I hate to tell you, but blind people at the Lighthouse cannot see my sign language. I'd probably have to go somewhere for deaf people.
Oh.
But I totally appreciate
that's
that.
funny. Okay.
Yeah, she told me she'll bring me to the lighthouse to volunteer.
Okay. That's really funny. I didn't know that.
You should volunteer. You could dance at the lighthouse.
I mean, I'm a great dancer.
Yeah.
So I like to call myself Fred Astaire.
You're not even Ginger Rogers?
No, I'm Fred Astaire, Mass Ginger.
Oh my God. So he's like, listen, don't worry about my job. I'll start looking when I get home. I know I have to get an apartment, all of the baby stuff, and get a new job, but I think that 6 weeks is fine.
Here's the crazy part. She even said, like, he's known I've been pregnant, like, all the way, 9 months.
Yeah, all 9 months of it.
Like, he's had ample amount of time.
Ample time.
Yes.
Dracula has a bottle with milk.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's
how old is she?
12.
Yeah, I'm like not judging, but like I feel like she's too old for a bottle.
I mean, listen, too old for a bottle. Who knows? I mean, we don't have kids. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I feel like guys, like, so I'm like getting like old now. So I'm like, oh, let me have a baby, right? But it's like, I don't even know like what you're supposed to do.
Babies like Cheetos?
Right. Like, do I breastfeed like for how long? Can I have like coffee while I breastfeed? Like, these are things I don't know.
You know what you can't do when you breastfeed?
What?
So if you eat gassy foods and you breastfeed, the baby will get gassy.
Like colic, right?
Yeah.
Or something? Is that what colic is?
Colic is like a gassy baby, yeah.
So,
but if you eat
so
like
you
broccoli,
can have like beans and broccoli. So I didn't know that.
Yes, and you breastfeed, it transfers to
and
them.
that's really bad for a baby to be
they
gassy
get fartsies.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you better change your diet, lady.
I am a gaseous lady.
I know.
Uh-huh.
Jehoon says, totally don't worry, he's got this. And then Dracula is like, hey, Jehoon. And he's like, excuse me, my name is Dad, D-A-D.
Well, that's like his dad was saying, call me Grandpa. I'm Grandpa.
Right. That was cute, though.
His parents are so
It's
cute.
so much less creepy to call his parents Grandma and Grandpa than to call him Dad.
I agree with that.
Just
Jehoon, to me, is like a kid.
He's a child.
Yeah, like, I feel like he's like 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, he's a kid.
So she's like, how was your trip to America? And he's like, oh, I didn't have fun. I didn't sleep. She's like, oh, you met your baby.
He's Amber on Teen
Mom.
Yeah,
you met your baby. And he's like,
He's like, oh, yeah, that. Okay, it was
sure.
the best trip.
Oh, yeah, it was so good.
It was so good.
She calls him Junie. So cute.
That's cute.
So he needs a job. He needs to get an apartment. She brings him to the airport, and he says goodbye to Taeyong.
And she's like, bye.
She looks so much better without makeup.
Okay, so without makeup, I actually think she's an attractive girl.
Yeah.
With makeup, she looks like mental illness all the way.
100%.
Yes.
Speaking of mental illness and makeup, let's talk about Tiffany and Ronald.
Oh, God. Now, that's the opposite end of the spectrum.
So a week after the wedding, they're looking for an apartment, and she's trying to get pregnant, because why wouldn't you do all of those things at the same time when you don't even know if you're going to live in South Africa?
You don't even know if you live there.
And no one has a job.
Right.
So she said they're going to be renting this girl with her cold shoulder tops.
That's all she wears.
Her shoulders must be so hot on fire.
But even her wedding dress, it was off the shoulder.
Yeah, she loves a good shoulder.
Yeah.
So they're looking for a 2-bedroom.
Right.
But he's not working, Noelle. Don't worry, because he's going to get a job working at the wellness center, and he's going to make $500 to $700 per week?
Per month, I think.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Great, perfect.
And so, but the average income
right.
there is what, like $1,700?
$1,800 a month, yeah. So that's his salary.
Mm-hmm. No, that sounds like really
But he doesn't
good.
even have that. That's a potential job.
Well, here's the thing. Then that is the perfect time for them to have a baby.
Okay, cool. And definitely get an apartment. So Tiffany can't work yet, and she's just looking for a safe area. Because she said that when she lived in Maryland, she could just leave her doors unlocked.
I did not know. I knew South Africa sucked, but I didn't know that there was that high crime rate.
Me neither.
There.
Daniel doesn't like South Africa, and she said she won't force him to stay.
Well, because she probably wants him to come back to America.
Do you think that she'll send him back to her mom and say, "Oh, he doesn't like it"?
Yeah, I think she wants to just start a new life with Ronald.
We have a friend like that.
Yeah.
Well, we know someone like that,
Yes.
not a friend. Let me tell you all about South Africa.
Okay.
There are electric fences
I know.
because they have to keep safe.
Okay, but I just feel like even aesthetically, that looks so creepy. Like there's all these compounds with electric fences because that's how bad it is.
They're old.
Terrifying.
Yeah, they're old junky apartments too.
Yeah.
So she was like looking at one apartment. They had electric fences, and she's like, "Oh, look, this room would be Daniel's room." And the realtors are like, "Yeah, all right."
Not downstairs.
You can't put a kid downstairs.
And it's crazy because they're like, oh, this one is safe because it's in the middle of the complex.
Right.
Like, all you have to do is yell.
So they said, if you scream loud enough, someone will hear you.
Right. Gross.
So she said that she's having doubts about moving to South Africa. Guess what?
You live there.
You move there.
You're married.
Yep.
And you want to have a baby.
Yep.
But you're still having doubts.
She's scaring her kid.
Why do these people speak
I don't
in front
know.
of the children?
So they're telling him about the high crime area.
Right. So, and Ronald thinks
she chose this.
Yeah, of course she did. And Ronald is like, don't worry, because we're also going to get an expensive alarm.
Right. We're going to pay a few $100 a month for the security system.
With what job?
So she's like, so we have to think, are we going to buy milk and eggs or pay for our electric fence? Mm-hmm. She wants him to move to the U.S. But guess what?
He can't.
He can't. Mm-hmm. You're marrying a criminal.
This was not thought out at all.
No.
Did she work when she lived in the U.S.? I'm wondering.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know because I feel like
she had to work at Mac.
Yeah, I mean that makeup is gorgeous.
She's so pretty.
Yeah.
Speaking of criminals, let's talk about Paul and Karini.
Oh, I can't with this guy.
But both of them are kind of stupid.
Listen, she's really stupid, but I feel like at least she means well. Like, she's not disturbed.
Why did she get pregnant on purpose?
I don't know. Do you think she got pregnant on purpose?
Yeah, of course she did, because she had a miscarriage with the first one. And
no,
then they tried
that
for the
I
second
know,
one.
but I feel like he just poked holes in condoms.
Definitely not. He was definitely not poking holes in any kind of condom.
He is so crazy.
She's wearing a lace see-through top to wash the dishes.
And their beautiful new apartment.
Oh, God. Mm-hmm. And he picked her a guava.
I mean, I'm not against that.
You like a good guava?
Yeah.
Have you ever had a real guava?
I mean, I think I've had a real guava. Yeah. They're really good for your tummy.
Yum.
Yeah.
Papaya
is really good for your tummy. That's right.
That's good. I'm glad.
I like papaya.
I'm glad you know your fruits. Papaya tastes a little bit like tomato-y to me, or like pumpkin-y.
All right. I mean, I could see that. I just, I'm not as much of a fruit eater as you.
Yeah.
I'm more of a vegetable eater.
I'm a big fruiter.
You are a big fruiter. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's cool that you have a guava tree outside of your house.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
My friend moved to Florida recently and she has an avocado tree.
Oh, yum.
And I would live for an avocado tree. Yeah.
You know, I gotta say something. The apartment is not great, but it is actually a lot better than a lot of other apartments that we've seen on this show.
That's true. You know what? You're right.
So he's looking for a job wearing a bulletproof vest, walking through town.
He is... Like, how is he not like the freak of the week? This
guy
is a joke.
He's upset that no one speaks English.
What does he expect?
You don't even live in a city.
Right. You live on the Amazon River.
You live
in the middle
5
of
days away from real Brazil.
Right.
Just saying. So we go back to Karini and she's touching her filthy face with she has like cystic acne that she just touches.
It's really bad.
Her eyelashes that she puts on for the confessionals, they're popping off.
They're made of plastic.
And but they're popping off and her face looks even more crooked.
Her face also looks very swollen all the time.
Yes. Well, she's pregnant.
She is.
She's very pregnant. She's been pregnant for 3 years now.
She's been pregnant forever, but she is like...
She's pregnant with like a pimple.
She's a dirt nasty.
She's disgusting. So Paul reveals that he studied sign language, and you ready for this one? Mm-hmm. And Spanish. Oh, Paul's like me.
Oh, okay. So Paul's just like you.
He should volunteer at the lighthouse too. Spanish. So she's like, oh, you studied Spanish? You could speak Spanish? And yeah, okay.
He's like, well, I studied it.
He's like, listen, the only reason I'm not making money is because I'm here in Brazil. And she's like, Paul.
Right.
Paul, you didn't have a job in America.
And it's like he wanted so bad to dispute it, but he couldn't. Because he's like, yeah, yes, I did. And I brought
that
money
I did some
here.
stuff. He's like, I worked with Andre. We were truckers.
See, well, because I remember even when he was in Kentucky, he was like doing random farm
He was doing
work.
farmhand stuff. So he gets a little bit anxious.
Mm-hmm. He gets overwhelmed. And so what do people do when they get overwhelmed?
You just like, usually like I lay in a dumpster.
Yeah, usually I lay in a dumpster or like on top of the septic tank.
Right. I swim in the toilet bowl.
Or, I sit in the doghouse.
Outside?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Paul relaxes in the doghouse. He's meditating.
Mm-hmm. And he's just talking to himself in there.
And then,
he's fine.
Yeah. And she's like, I just want you to shut up.
She hates him at this point.
And he's like, well, it hurts my feelings that you talk to other men. Here's my wedding ring. I hate you.
She's like, Paul, where am I supposed to get any other money if I don't sex these other people?
Right.
You know?
She's scared of his reactions and she's crying.
Yeah, I'd be scared of his reactions too, but also, right, why are you having a child with someone like him?
She's an idiot.
He's never not been crazy. He's never not shown you his crazy.
Correct.
Yep.
Let's move on to episode 13 with them. They just moved, but Paul and her are fighting. So she goes to her mother for advice, and she wants to separate. So her mom's like, okay, let's do this. Let's get back on the boat.
Right.
For 50 years.
Her mother is happy by this.
Yeah,
news.
let's go back to this place because we have to go to the lawyer, and it's 5 days away.
Right.
So let's get back on the boat.
But you know what her mom does? Her mom's nice about it, though.
Yes.
Because her mom's like, you're not going to be alone. You're going to be safe. Like, we're going to help you. Your brother's going to help you. And I think that's nice. That's what you need to hear.
I totally agree with you. Let's talk about one of the meanest people on this show, Evelyn and Corey. So Corey and Raul is Evelyn's like very good friend.
Right.
And also Corey's kind of only friend here.
Right.
In Ecuador.
And he's like really likes Corey.
Yeah. So they go on a hike and, you know, the greatest part is Raul speaks English. They can hang.
Right.
And he understands that he has to learn Spanish to communicate with people. And she wants him to. Mm-hmm. Also, just a side note, he's wearing an evil eye bracelet.
Yes.
After he did that black magic at her grandmother's house, maybe he should lay off of that stuff.
Yeah, he's got like that bright red bracelet. But you know what? He always has on, like, even so, like, when you go to like Israel and you get like those Kabbalah, like red string bracelets, he had that on too a few weeks ago.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Raul has a secret.
And what is that secret?
That he had a fling with Evelyn years ago before she even knew Corey.
She seems to be the town fling.
She's the town bicycle.
Uh-huh.
Because everyone gets a ride.
Everyone gets a ride, guys. You heard it here first.
Why does Raul have to tell Corey everything?
I don't know if he did it to be a genuine friend or if he did it to like
Noelle.
Get a rise out of
Noelle.
him. What?
I'm sure there is like a guy friend of yours that you've made out with before. If he went to Matt to confess that,
right,
would he be doing that because he's your friend or Matt's friend?
No, he'd be doing it to be a jerk.
Right, because who cares?
Yeah, but I think that I don't know. The way he explained it was like he felt guilty about it. He couldn't be like Corey's like real friends. I know. They
didn't even know each other.
I know.
So stupid. So the whole town knows that last year when he went home that she cheated on him, and they call him El Cabulo. I don't know. It's a weird word. So people laugh at him, and Raul's like, listen, I feel bad, but like I also laugh at you.
And they make like horns behind his head and stuff. Like, that's so mean. The poor guy, he's walking around literally, he is the town fool.
Yes.
You know?
Raul was explaining that the person who loves the least has the power.
I mean, he's right about that.
He is super right. So, Noelle, his apartment doesn't have walls.
He doesn't have pots.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have pots, but
he lives in a rusty pot house.
But why doesn't he ask, where is the 40 grand? Like, because remember when he was explaining
what he could say is, he can go like this. Donde está el 40 grand?
I had to buy a $20,000 car.
What year is the car?
1979.
Oh. Is it a classic?
No. Like, I don't understand. 40 grand and they live like in a shack.
They live in a rusty pot house.
Yes, a rusty pot house, guys. They live in a rusty pot house.
So he comes back from the hike and he tells Evelyn what he heard from Raul. And she's like, listen, everyone's just jealous. Mm-hmm. That is the greatest answer ever.
But do you know that that's an answer for like a lot of these things? So people do that a lot. She is the gaslight queen.
Yep.
She is.
She's like, listen, here's the deal. My family loves my ex-boyfriend.
Right. And you're never going to be him.
Right.
So here. Don't even try, basically. He's going to be here before and after you.
And he was here after you. Yep. Right. So she won't wear her promise ring.
Right.
And he's like,
But you agree with her about that, right?
I do agree with her because he buys her a wedding band. He
Right.
buys himself a wedding band. And he's like, we're going to wear these as promise rings.
But that's insecurity. That's why he did it.
Right.
And that's why he's obsessed with her wearing it.
Noelle, I got this really cool thing for you. It's a muzzle.
Uh-huh.
And it's handcuffs. And I want you to wear the muzzle and the handcuffs to show that you love me.
No.
Why not? That's to show
I don't know where I put it.
you put it on your... I'm going to put it on you.
No, I lost it.
I bought you a new one.
No, I lost that one too.
I have it right here. I'm going to put it on you right now.
I just dipped it in gasoline.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
No,
you can't
I know.
just decide like that you're going to wear wedding bands now, but it's just a promise ring.
And just because she is like wearing it, it doesn't change anything.
No, she still cheats on him. So she says, "Are you in it or not?" And she goes, "Well, I guess I'm not."
And
so she turns the tables, and she gets mad at him because
he
he's
wasn't
bringing it up.
expecting that.
No, but I was.
Well, of course. But the thing is, like, she is a good twister because he's like, did you do it in this bed, like our bed?
And she's like, you are so low for asking. You need to leave. Now, the greatest part about that is,
right.
You need to leave. There's no walls.
There's no walls.
I did leave.
I'm
leave. Not even here.
I'm outside. I'm outside with the
We're
rest.
all outside. Let's talk about Laura and Aladdin.
Oh,
she's been there for a week only.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's what I mean. Why can't they keep the same timeline?
I need the same timeline.
Yeah.
So she's been there for a week. She's having trouble adjusting. So they're going to the beach. And he's like, are you excited? We're going to the beach. And she's like, yeah, I'm real excited to go to the desert.
Meanwhile, I think that he is being so nice to her.
He was.
Yeah.
So there's only a few days left until their 3-day wedding in Tunisia. And she's like, well, I'm going to be alone for my wedding. And she cries her sloped eyelashes off.
So she's crying, and I think she's also crying because she misses like her son.
Yeah, so her son doesn't want to come, and she's crying on the way to the beach. And he was being really nice to her, though.
He was like, basically, like, I think that we're just miscommunicating, and I'm going to try to understand you better. And he was really nice.
He was, and he said that it's really hard, but a lot of women leave their homes to be with their husband. Like, when you get married, you kind of like leave your home,
which I think he's right about.
Yeah, and you know what? Guess what? They get to the beach. There's water. It's a beach.
Yeah, because she's like, she made it. I thought it was just going to be a straight up desert.
Like a desert with like a glass of water in the middle.
A thimble of water.
Oh my God. All right. Well, let's move on to Before the 90 Days, Season 3, Episode 4.
I am feeling this show.
Me too.
Yeah.
So let's start with Rebecca and Zayed.
Okay.
And we start off, opening scene. It is a so beautiful day.
So beautiful.
So beautiful day.
So beautiful.
The day is so beautiful. Beautiful. So beautiful.
He is creepy.
So she's going to take him to play soccer with his friends.
Uh-huh. Mom's going to drive him.
I think they have a minivan. And he sits in the back with all his friends and all his equipment. And he's like, Mom, I want a juice box.
With his size small shirt.
Oh, God. So she wants him to introduce her to his friends. And he's like, oh, okay, guys, this is my mom.
Right. And meanwhile, she's just like standing there. Like he didn't even attempt to introduce her, which was really rude.
So his friends go, you're looking real white. And he's like, yeah, I'm living the luxury life.
Yeah. So that was, there you go.
Off-putting.
That's
there
your
you
answer.
Go.
Yep.
So his friend said that she looked younger in pictures. And then one of them asked her age.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, don't filter all your pictures.
To make you look like an infant.
Right, and then wonder why everybody is, shocked when they meet you.
Right.
Because they were expecting someone who is 20 years younger than you. Right.
She shows them her tattoos, and they're like, how much does that cost? And she's like $3,000 per arm.
Right.
And now they're like, oh, this is rich white lady.
But I feel like she's like, do you not know what you're doing? You know what I mean?
She knows exactly what she's doing. I wouldn't say anything.
Off.
I'd be like, oh, I don't know. They're different prices.
Right. I'd be like, oh, they're old. I don't know.
Sure. Also, Noelle, you've heard me say this a million times. Poor people sure do have a lot of money for tattoos and cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's so true. They always find the money.
Mm-hmm.
So the friends were saying that for $3,000 an arm, you could open a store in Tunisia.
Basically, they're looking at him like he found an American woman that'll take care of him.
Right.
You know?
Now his friend wants to meet an American woman.
Yeah, because he's like, wow, $3,000 an arm.
Right.
I could open a shop.
They're going to cut her arms off in a second. So they're back at home, and she's blowing out his dirty hair.
Gross. He probably didn't even shower after his football game.
Is she blowing it out with like gasoline?
Yes.
I don't understand what's happening here. Did he wash it? No.
Because at first I thought it was wet. That's why it looked like that.
Yeah, but then I'm like, it's not getting drier.
I think she just poured a bunch of olive oil on it.
Disgusting. Mm-hmm. And she makes like a samurai ponytail for him.
I used to give my dad that ponytail when I was younger.
She wants to wear a satin V-neck top with lace to a club.
But here's the thing, like, I wouldn't wear that here.
Okay, but with the darkest smoky eye ever. So her smoky eye goes from lash line to eyebrow.
I've never, it's
black.
Like, but even if you wanted to do a smoky eye, like, that's not how you do it.
That's how she does it.
Right.
So she wears a leather jacket and she won't change. And he's like, I'm jealous and controlling. And she used to wear a hijab with her ex-husband.
Right.
So they're going out for drinks, and now we go into the next episode. They're at a club, and they're dressed as twins.
Yes, they are.
They both have on dark jeans. They both have on black shoes. They both have on leather jackets.
They're both in the Matrix, basically.
They're both wearing like leather moto jackets.
Yes.
And she has her hair, Noelle, in a claw clip.
Oh, here's the thing. I wear a claw clip when I'm like mopping my house.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't even think they were even cool when I was in high school. And I was in high school a very long time ago.
Do you ever wear it with a smoky eye?
I mean, sometimes, you know, if that's the thing.
Well, not only does she have a smoky eye, he's smoking the hookah.
Mm-hmm. That's all he does.
I know.
He smokes a lot.
But they
of
also
hookah.
smoke cigarettes, though.
Oh, I didn't notice
that.
Yeah. Okay.
So he said that her shirt gives the wrong impression and that she's not a good woman. And she's like, well, that's how my ex was. Guess what? You are dating Arabic men from different cultures and you're dressing like a little bit provocatively.
Right.
And then you're like, well, they have to deal with it. And it's like, no, they don't.
They don't have to deal with it. They don't want to deal with it. That is their culture.
Right.
And so respect it.
She is the common denominator that's not respecting other people's cultures.
I agree with you on this.
So she takes off her jacket.
Which I think was so childish and so disrespectful.
She did it to really piss him
She
off.
did it to get a rise out of him, and then when he reacted, it was like she was shocked that he reacted.
Yep. So the guy next to her looks at her tattoos, and Zayed is flipping out, and he starts a fight.
Well, because he's like, wow, I wonder how much money I can get if I cut her arm off.
He's probably like, oh my God, 2 stores. Do you think that Nicole and Azan made their store from tattooed arms?
Maybe they were just macheteing some arms off.
Let's talk about Tim and Jennifer.
Oh man.
Tim has gold eye patches underneath his eyes and he's flying to Colombia.
Listen, I think that's I think that's cool. I don't know if I would do that in public if I was him, but I think that's a nice gesture. He wants to look good. I think he's a little metrosexual. I don't think he's trans like everyone is saying. But I think
people are saying that he looks. There's something about his face that looks like very womanly.
Well,
so that's why people are like.
I see that, and I also think his head is too big for his body.
Yeah,
like there's something off. But I think that he's just like a little metro. You know.
We get to meet Jennifer. We're doing a whole montage of workout scenes. And it's basically like flash dance.
Right. That's exactly what it was. Her family is a bunch of boxers.
Right. So she's working out with her long straight hair that's soaking wet.
Gross.
And it's just whipping around because that's how you work out.
But also that's disgusting.
Yeah, but that's what that was like her sexy video. So she's boxing and she said, I'm like a princess, but I'm more like a princess warrior.
Like a Xena.
She's been a model since she was a kid. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was a Halloween mask model.
That's so funny. That is so funny, actually. But yeah, she's very, very small. She's shorter than him.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, she looks so tall.
So you would think so, but then when I was watching them walk, she had on heels, and he was like 2 inches taller than her.
Stop it.
And I was shocked.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
I purposely paid attention.
He probably had crazy lifts in his shoes because he looks tiny.
I mean, he looks like a baby man.
Yep. She liked him because he has a house and a car, and he's a hard worker,
and he's family oriented.
Right. So her daughter's name is Inti Violetta, and she's at 1.5 years old, and she is divorced. So her friends are like, "Let me see pictures of Tim," and they're like, "Okay, here's his Ferrari."
Unbelievable.
So her friend said that his ex, Veronica, looks just like her.
I mean, listen, he clearly has a type.
Yeah.
Veronica, Hispanic
dark hair.
woman, dark hair.
Is she Hispanic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was looking her up on Instagram. It was like Veronica, I think Rodriguez.
Right.
And I think that they're similar looking, but I think Jennifer is almost like a younger version of Veronica.
So she has an eagle tattoo on her chest, and she has like very like it's very bold.
Yes,
but it's not like very nice.
No, they look almost like jailhousey.
Yes,
tattoos.
and her guy friend has tattoos all over his face.
He's disgusting.
He looks like that rapper. What was his name? Isn't he in jail?
I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes.
Oh my God.
He looks like a junkie.
Yep.
He looks gross.
So, he flies out there, right? 10 hours of flying. Mm-hmm. He's sweating. He has anxiety, and he's afraid that she won't like him.
He is so self-conscious, and
he really is. Very
overcompensates
insecure
with money.
Yep. So she said that she's nervous too. He brings a giant bear on the plane. And he even hit his head getting into the cab. But the baby liked the bear.
The baby was so cute because the bear was bigger than her.
So cute. And
walking
she was like
around
carrying
with it. Yeah, that was so cute.
He rented an apartment, and they go to the apartment, but the baby is not strapped into her car seat.
Yeah, I didn't like this at all. And I don't like her yelling in front of the baby.
No, and they get in an argument in the car because he said that his ex wanted her to text him to text her when he landed, and because she drove him to the airport.
But I don't think that there's anything crazy about
Jennifer
that.
doesn't want him to talk to his ex, and she said there's only two people that treat you like that, and that's your mom or your wife, and which one is she?
I mean, I'm gonna go more for wife. Yeah,
wife.
I'm gonna go more for wife.
Let's talk about Benjamin and Akini. So we open up, and he's playing with Grayson, his 5-year-old son, before he goes to Kenya. And he's like, listen, I'm not going to tell him the details of my romantic relationship.
Just in case they don't work out. Or he can't afford the bride price, basically.
So you don't tell your 5-year-old son the details of your romantic relationship?
How weird.
So strange. So his brother and sister are taking him to the airport. And she's going to meet him at the airport alone. Mm-hmm. He has his very best dad outfit on.
He dresses like he works in Best Buy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got his old man shoes on. He's got his khakis.
He's got his cell phone clip on.
Oh, my God.
That's a can I speak to a manager clip.
he travels all the way to Nairobi, and he's going to meet her mom, her dad, her 2 sisters, and her 1 brother.
I would be so nervous.
Yeah. So she likes him because he didn't send nudes.
I mean, I might like him for that reason.
Way to keep your standards up, Akini. Way to keep it up. So she said that white people have money.
What a misconception.
Whoa.
You know?
She hasn't told her dad yet because her dad thinks that white people are a problem.
Right. They're very racist.
So her brother, Fidel, he's overprotective. And so what he has to do is Benjamin has to get in with Fidel.
Right.
And then Fidel has to present him to her dad. And her family must approve. And her family was saying that, like, she's always like white people. She likes white people movies. And she's talking about how, like, she doesn't really want to be a mom to his kid, but she'll be like a friend to his kid.
But that's better.
Yeah. Of course. It's like a crazy thing that I think when step parents come into it, like, I'm your dad now. Did you see the one with Molly? Molly, the woman that lives in Georgia. So her husband, now I can't think of his name. But anyway, he was outside with one of her kids one day. And he was like, hey, I'm your dad now. And she's like, you're not my dad.
I saw it.
And you will never be my dad.
He was from Dominican Republic?
Yes.
Yep. And she was just like, you're not my dad. And he's like, no, I'm your father now.
Yeah. And she's like, you're not my dad. I have a dad. Thank you so much.
And the older daughter hated him too. Yeah.
That was probably, I think, the best scene in 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. They lived in like Georgia.
Yeah, they lived in Georgia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So 24 hours later, he's there, and she's very nervous. And I got to tell you, they embrace, they hug, they kiss, and they both seem pretty happy.
But here's the thing. It looked like real.
Like legitimately happy. She said that he's
me.
handsome. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh my God, look at your eyelashes, your hair, your eyebrows. Americans are huge.
His hair is so soft. Yeah, Americans are huge.
Noelle. Mm-hmm. I know you're going to be shocked, but she has a secret.
No way.
The producers must sit down with everyone, and they're like, what's your secret? And they're like, I don't have a secret. And they're like, well, get a secret.
You get one together.
Get one together, because everyone has to have a secret to be on this show.
I'm still waiting for Tim to unveil his.
His secret is probably that he supports her financially 1,000%.
That's what I think. Or maybe that they even still live together.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited, Noelle.
So am I. So am I.
We're going to talk about Darcy and Tom.
Darcy is my favorite.
Darcy is my favorite person on this earth.
Yes.
I would sacrifice you to the gods if Darcy would be my friend.
Okay. I would move to Connecticut to be with Darcy.
I need to be. Well, that was a little different, but Darcy has met her dream man, Tom.
Okay.
And by dream man, I mean man that she met and she is totally disappointed in, but she has to commit to the bed.
She has to commit. Yep.
They just finished dinner and they're going to go to their Air BNB. And she asked as they're driving, is that where we're getting married?
I mean, and he's like, no.
No, that's not where we're getting married because we're getting married nowhere. We're getting married in your dreams. Is that your dreams over there? Because that's where we're getting married.
Her dream is just a guy to be nice to her, really, and to want her.
Yep. So she's already drunk and he's offering her more wine at the Airbnb. And Noelle, he's wearing a suit, right?
Uh-huh.
And she couldn't even wear pants or a bottom.
No, she wore a blazer.
She wore a blazer
an
and a bathing suit.
Here's the thing. I really didn't realize that was a bathing suit. It is a bathing suit.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bodysuit.
It's a bathing suit.
Yeah,
well,
a
bodysuit has snaps at the crotch.
And that had no snaps.
This is a non-snap thing. She was wearing a bathing suit, hooker boots, and a blazer.
That's Darcy.
She's crying probably because of Jesse.
She's crying because of Jesse. She's crying because Tom rented a house.
Yeah, she said that he helped her heal.
Uh-huh.
So he's like, listen, she's emotional and I do not find it attractive. And a first date is supposed to be fun. And this is not fun.
It looks like the opposite of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's showing her the room. So basically like he rented I guess it was like a townhouse.
Yeah, it was nice.
So he's like, this is your room and this is my room.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh no, I can't stay in this room. I want to stay in this room.
Right.
So she lays on his bed. Now, I just want to back up a little bit. Why didn't you just let her pick what room she wanted? Why did you get to pick what room in?
I don't know. I mean, listen, he seems like a little bit of a
jerk.
Yeah.
She lays on his bed and she rolls around. Her entire clam is out.
Yeah, that's how we know it's a bathing suit and not a bodysuit.
She is just flopping around.
She is flopping around, though.
She's a slopopotamus at this moment.
But why does he keep giving her more alcohol?
And he's like, oh, let me bring you some more wine. She's like, I don't feel comfortable sleeping alone in this bed. So now she's crying again, probably because of Jesse.
Right.
And he's like, listen, this is terrible. I'm babysitting.
She can't pretend even for 24 hours to be normal.
Nope.
That's the crazy part.
He puts on his pajamas and brings her more wine in bed, and she's still crying.
And you're wondering why.
Probably
you're
about
enabling this behavior. It's definitely about Jesse. You're enabling this behavior.
Totally. Tom wakes up and she said, they interview her, right? Privately. And she's like, the conversation was electric.
I watched this morning and I LOL'd thinking about you.
Noelle. She woke up. She's like, how did last night go? I don't know. I woke up in his white shirt.
But that's all I'll say.
That's all I'll say. Noelle, the cameras were there.
We saw what happened.
We
Darcy.
saw what happened. The conversation was not electric. Maybe you got shocked.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, all we saw basically was your clam and your tears.
So he comes into the room, probably with another glass of wine. And he has toilet paper stuffed up his nose. And she's like, oh, what's in your nose? Is that from the sex?
Is that from all the sex we had?
And he's like, no, I was sleeping and you hit me in the nose at 4 a.m. And she's like, well, if that's true, why don't you have a mark? And it's like,
do you think he's lying?
Do you think? And he's like, look at the covers. So he's like, I thought there was a murder, and there's blood all over her, all over the covers.
Yeah, that freaked me out.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
So she says, you ready for this one? We had too much to drink.
No, you had too much, girlfriend. In Tom in his British pajamas too.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I hope you don't mind my British pajamas." Okay, Tom, we get it. You have Louis Vuitton pajamas.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? Honestly, who cares?
They are like, it's like a pissing contest between the two.
It is. It's very strange.
It's like, do you have small accessories from designers? Because I have small accessories. Do you have the least expensive thing that any designer could make?
Yes,
like
because I have it too. Right.
I have a scarf and a keychain.
I have a Burberry scarf. Right. I have a Coach keychain. You were so cool back in the day for having that.
They have plans, right? So he's like, listen, we got to be ready in an hour. And she's like, that's good. Well, guess what?
What?
He should have given her more time.
She didn't shower.
She didn't shower. She didn't comb her hair. She was disheveled. She looked like a mess. And guess what? She cannot walk in heels. Why are you wearing heels if you can't walk in heels?
You know what surprises me? I thought her, of all people, would be like easy breezy in heels.
Nope.
You know? And it's funny because I never wear heels and I have no problem walking in heels.
I've never seen someone walk like that in heels.
Yeah. She
Except
was
for
like
drunk people.
Bambi.
Yes. So they're walking down the dock to the boat, and she's like, "Is this like we're walking down the aisle?" And he's like, "No, this is like we're walking to the boat."
Stop it.
So they go on a boat ride, and it's like a speedboat. Is this the fake yacht that he wanted to take?
No, that's in
Canary Islands.
Yeah,
she's all over him,
all over him, about to cry again.
She says, "I love you" to him, and then she starts crying, and he
goes
just looks
blank.
at her. She said, "I love London so much. I could see myself moving here."
Well, how do your children feel about this?
Her children
Darcy?
are like, "My mom is a psycho. I'm so glad grandma's here taking care of us."
I want to know more about Stacy and if Stacy is this manic.
Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah.
So Darcy on this boat ride wants to know where they stand in her Fendi bodysuit. He has his Louis Vuitton scarf on because, he used to work in fashion.
They're a walking cliche, these people.
He said that he's seeing other women, but he'll basically cancel that because he wants to see where it's going to go with this drunken hot mess.
And it's like, listen, that's all like, I don't really begrudge him about like being honest with her. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think that he's led her to believe it's something it's not.
Of course.
And she's so fragile. You can't do that with someone like her.
In her confessional now, her lips are more botched than you will ever see in your life.
There's pearls inside of them.
So she thought that they were already a couple, and he's like, no. He's like, let's just try this out and see where it goes.
Right.
And she's like, oh, we've been together for 4 years, and now I'm on a trial period.
But wasn't she with Jesse?
You weren't with him for 4 years.
4 years
Listen,
ago?
4 years ago, you met him on Match.com. You talked to him 3 times. When you broke up with Jesse, you clung to him. Stop it. Stop it.
I have a friend, right? Like a year ago, she got with like this guy that she used to date when she was 16. So when people ask her how long they've been together, she's like 20 years. And it's like, no, you were
6
separated
months.
for 17 years.
6 months.
Yeah.
You've been together for 6
that.
months.
I hate that.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
It's similar.
It's like, do you remember when you were engaged between
You remember when you got married and had kids?
Right.
And he wasn't there?
Right.
Because it wasn't his kids and you didn't marry
in
him?
a relationship? Right.
You were still together though, right? Cool. Let's talk about Avery and Omar, the one that I worry about the most.
So do I. Agreed.
She's getting married in 2 days and they're going dress shopping. And Omar is going to come because they have to get a halal dress.
Which I didn't even know that was a thing.
I
didn't know that's what it was called.
It sounded delicious.
A halal dress.
I thought that maybe she was getting like chicken and rice dress.
With white sauce. Yum.
I thought she was getting maybe like a lamb dress.
I want a lamb dress.
I want a lamb dress too. Noelle, the next time you get married, lamb dress.
Okay, the next time I get married, I'm wearing a lamb dress.
I want a lamb dress.
These are gorgeous.
Oh yeah, they actually were really pretty.
Yeah.
So she goes shopping for a Muslim wedding dress. So basically halal means like approved. Like
right,
good.
which I did not know.
So Omar said that it shouldn't show her body shape. So you kind of have to be like a little drapey. And the second one she tried on was too form-fitted. And her mom doesn't understand why she can't wear certain things.
Her mom doesn't understand a lot.
Her mom doesn't want to understand.
Her mom is Valerie Bertinelli.
She really is. I love the dress she picks.
Tracy.
I love it.
I love that dress.
Is it made of lamb?
It is gorgeous. It is. It's a very lamby.
Delicious and beautiful.
It's beautiful. I would eat so much lamb wearing that dress.
Oh my god, yes, because it's not form fitted.
Yeah,
it was really pretty. I like the long sleeves. It looked nice.
Me too.
Her mom is upset that she changed so much.
Listen, she just seems like one of those girls that doesn't know who she is and she's looking for an identity.
Yep.
Which I think is normal. She's only 19 though, too.
Yep,
you know?
So they go to eat, and this is the second part of the episode, and her mom doesn't like eggplant, and she needs to make it known to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, I don't like eggplant. I'm not going to shout it from the rooftop.
That's also not something you have to order.
Yeah,
you can order
so
other
don't
things.
Eat it. Eat lamb.
Eat lamb.
Yeah.
You could eat halal.
You also don't need to drink.
Well, guess what? She does. And not only does her mom need to drink, she wants her daughter, who's 19, to drink because they're celebrating.
That's the thing, though. It's like, why are you shoving alcohol through to your old underage daughter?
She's like,
you know what I
you
mean?
used to want to. You have to drink it. You're celebrating. Now, it's funny. And her mom orders a Long Island iced tea.
Of all things.
So it's funny how her mom was Googling all these things about Muslim men, but didn't Google anything about the culture.
No.
So she didn't Google that you have to cover your hair, and she didn't Google that you don't drink.
No.
So her mother said, I was Googling Muslim wives, and it turns out that I found out that you could hit women. And she's like, are you going to hit my daughter? He's like, why would I hit your daughter?
Right. Like, what's wrong with you?
And she's like, well, she's not always going to be nice to you.
Yeah, I don't.
Also, Avery's calling Omar Habibi, which means like sweetheart.
Right.
She's trying so hard. So she's sitting there calling him Habibi, wearing her Muslim wedding dress, all these things that she's doing. Meanwhile, she literally has a cross tattoo on her hand.
It's just so ironic. It really is.
So crazy. Well, last but not least.
Never least.
Let's talk about Caesar. He's leaving tomorrow for Mexico. Mm-hmm. And he is showing us his single-breasted suit from 1989 that he has chosen to propose to her.
He's got a lot of suits for this trip.
A lot of suits. A lot of outfits.
Yes.
A lot of waiter outfits.
He is so stuck in the 90s. Like, I can't deal
it's
with
pretty
it.
bad. So he is also, they're showing him eating ramen because he's so poor.
He's so destitute. Listen, I eat ramen all the time because I love it.
Little tip to our listeners. Mm-hmm. You ever eat ramen raw?
My mom does. I don't.
It's like a delicious cracker.
Really?
Did you ever tried it ever?
No.
Noelle. It's not like eating dried pasta.
Because dry pasta skeeves me.
It's not like that. It is the most delicious snack ever. And also sprinkle a little bit of the bouillon on it. Eat it.
I could take an IV of that bouillon. I love it so much.
Sprinkle the bouillon on the curly noodles while they're dry.
Interesting.
And take a little munch.
I'll tell you what I did do. I made like this Chinese salad, like, but you wouldn't use it. Obviously, there's sesame oil on it.
I just fainted.
But I crunched up the noodles and put them on top.
Yeah, that's the thing, though.
Yeah, and it was for the firehouse for Matt's job.
You should try them.
Okay.
Why does Caesar have decals of grapes all over his cabinets and walls?
Because I think he has a baby. Who put them up there?
No, I think he thinks they're serious. Also, he has one earring in his left ear.
Yeah, I mean, this guy he's lame.
She hasn't been responding. Maria, his girlfriend, wife-to-be, has not responded to him for 2 days, and he tells producers that he's still hopeful.
Here's the thing. I'd still go to Mexico to go away.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be thinking that she's coming.
No. So the day of that he's leaving, there's no answer from Maria. Mm-hmm. And he goes to the airport wearing a Canadian tuxedo.
Mm-hmm. Which I love.
Noelle, can you tell the viewers in case they don't know?
A Canadian tuxedo is denim jeans and a denim jacket. And you wear them together. And especially, extra points if they match.
Yes.
Same color denim, which his do.
So he gets into an Mercedes Uber, and he goes to the airport, and he arrives in Mexico. But guess what happened?
What happened?
No luggage. His luggage is lost.
But there is not a soul there.
Okay, so they go to the baggage claim. Mm-hmm. Not only aren't there bags, but there's no people. And
not one person.
I'm just going to throw it out there. Yeah. I am a world traveler. I have been to the Cancun airport. Mm-hmm. It is chaos.
Really?
Do you know what I did in the Cancun airport?
No.
I have a beautiful pink suitcase.
Uh-huh.
I took the suitcase off of the thing and we left, and it wasn't my suitcase. It wasn't my someone else had a beautiful pink suitcase. So I had to go to baggage claim. It is crowded.
Oh.
It is very, very crowded.
That was terrible. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't my finest moment. So, but he's in the baggage area. There's no one in the whole airport. It's like they said, come over here.
Right.
We're going to pretend we lost your baggage. We're going to film by this carousel.
Right. There wasn't one thing there.
So he had his engagement ring in the bag.
His bling bling.
Mm-hmm. Guess what? Mm-hmm. Buy a new one. It was $1.
It was made from glass.
Just saying. There was glitter. It was glitter and glue. He has to wait until tomorrow to get his bags, but that's fine because she's not going to be there for 2 days.
But what if he loses all the edible underwear coming?
Oh my God, then no one's going to have a snack.
Yeah, I would be upset about that. That's what I'd be the most upset about.
She's still ignoring him, and she's supposed to be there in 2 days.
And he's still like a dumb F-U-C-K. Mm-hmm. Like, oh yeah, she's still going to come. I know she's going to come.
Also, he booked her a flight that takes 24 hours with 4,000 connections. I think it's like 32 hours or something.
I mean, I'd also be like, no, thank you.
No, thank you. Bye.
Come to Ukraine. Bye.
So he gets into the hotel room. What is this view that he's showing me? Is it the highway?
To him, that's a view.
Because there's a palm tree.
Listen, he's destitute, I think.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
This episode, all these episodes are really fun. I can't wait till next week. Noelle, you're not going to be here next week.
I'm not going to be here.
You're going to be flying on an airplane, not losing your luggage, not going to meet anyone with your husband for your anniversary trip.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to have some guests on instead.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Make sure you're following us at 90 Day Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. And you can follow me, your host, at Trixie Tuzini, TrixieTuzzini on Instagram and Twitter. And you could join our Facebook group, 90 Day Fiancé Trash Talk Podcast. Noelle, where can we find you?
Noe_bear810 on Instagram and at NoeGirl on Twitter.
Awesome. Also, we're going to be doing a live podcast for 90 Day Fiancé Trash Talk.
What?
It's going to be in November at the Stand in New York City. I'm just waiting on some more details and I'll have that up. We're also doing a live podcast for Teen Mom Trash Talk, October 19th, 3 p.m. It's a Saturday at Caroline's on Broadway in New York City. You can get tickets at carolines.com.
Guys, come watch me lay on the stage and freak
Noelle
out.
gets really scared at big crowds, so she just lays down. It's very, very entertaining. And you could also just check out all the rest of my shows at tracycarnazzo.com. Come see me do comedy.
Yeah, why not? You're amazing.
Oh, my God. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please give us a 5-star rating and an amazing review on iTunes.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye.